Hey everyone, can I talk now? Hey everyone, I'm Hamid, known as Hamid Scorpion, and I'm from Iran. I'm current world record holder for Blindfolded, Sekiro, Elden Ring, and Dark Souls Remastered Speedrun. And of course, the first one, luckily, to beat all the Black Myth Wukong bosses blindfolded, all the Elden Ring DLC bosses blindfolded, and all the Lies of P bosses blindfolded, and bunch of bosses blindfolded from Dark Souls series, like Dark Eden Meteor or Malenia or General Radon. And I've been doing blindfolded runs since 2022, I guess. And I have the honor to perform this run for you guys. And of course, thanks for having me. And of course, it's a great pleasure to talk to Mitch Riz here, my master and mentor, and the one who taught me how to run Sekiro blindfolded. It's a great honor for me.
Oh no, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm Mitriz. I've also done Sekiro blindfolded. I tried a little Elden Ring blindfolded. I had some trouble with it, but Hamid has been doing great at that. And yeah, I'm excited to see all the optimizations Hamid has made. I used to run Sekiro blindfolded a while back, and I'm excited to see all the new stuff that Hamid has cooked up. So Hamid, are you ready to get started?
Yeah, I'm ready to get started.
All right, then why don't you count us down and we can get it going?
Okay, let me just shine my flashlight into my
Oh
blindfold
yes.
just to make sure I cannot see anything from it. It's completely darkness for me. And I'm gonna put on the blindfold and start the run. As far as one more thing, as far as this run is extremely hard and risky, and we go with the least possible upgrades and powers for the sword. I mean, and everything is extremely hard and risky with the least possible items. I may want to uh, load from a save file, but I try not to. I practice with all the possible safety strategies for it, and hopefully I can finish the run without having load from a save file. But in case falling in or failing into a boss fight or a situation, I may want to load from a save file. Okay, just wish me luck.
All right, yeah. Good luck, Hamid.
All right. I'm gonna actually tape my mouse's laser as well here, just to make sure the camera angle doesn't move. Okay. Okay, can we start now?
Yep, should be ready.
All right, let's go.
All right, good luck. Here we go.
All right, thank you.
All right, so here at the start, basically what Hamid is going to be doing is he's going to be every movement is pre-planned exactly so that it should work every single time. He has gotten straight into it. It's a speed run. We're going. But basically, he's using jumps to kind of count out how far he's going in each particular direction. He's got this little shimmy here, which is nice and consistent. At the end of it, we can set up our camera very specifically by just turning it and then targeting an enemy. So because we've targeted, we now know exactly what direction we're facing. And when we do the crouching and walking, we can go exactly forward. He's doing a pretty risky strat, but hey, he's going for speed. He's going directly across the middle of the arena to get to the other side. This is sort of supposed to be a stealth section, but Hamid is going directly to the end. Let's see if he can get this last drop down here. Okay, he should know where he is now generally. Awesome. And by grabbing onto these things and then climbing up, he's got a very consistent position to get into Kuro. So that is kind of the first little section done, a little taste of the movement that you're going to be seeing throughout this. He didn't have sprinting there, which is a big key that we're going to be using throughout the game, but just through the jumps, he was able to kind of time out everything, get to Kuro, acquire his sword. Oh, that's a clever little one, targeting the enemy to get right looking at that door there. And now opening it. And now that we have sprinting, now we can go a lot faster. It can also be used for very consistent movement later. But for now, he's just using it to get to the end as fast as possible. He does need to go a little quickly before the enemies behind him eventually catch up.
All right, where am I?
Okay, he's a little unsure where he is. Got killed. That's okay. He can do it again. So luckily in this game, there's a lot of checkpoints every so often. In this particular case, as soon as you get the sword from Kuro, there is a checkpoint. And so now he's facing directly at the door. He knows where he is, and he can just do this again. I think he just slid to slightly the wrong spot because of the exact way that he moved. All right, so now he's sliding along the wall. Breaks the stuff. That's his audio cue to know where he is. Does some jumps forward so that he knows he's in the corner. Awesome. All the way to the right so that he knows he's in this other corner. And then counting a certain number of dashes he knows is always going to get him up here. Turn exactly to the right. Count a certain number of dashes should get him the ash. He's just going to walk forward until he picks it up. And now, by counting a certain number of more dashes, he knows he's here and can jump to the end. From here, he's safe. From here, it's just going to be sort of counted out things. And that was kind of the first tutorial section of the game. All the difficulties there. And from here, he's just going to sort of jump across to the end and count out exactly his movement here. Boom. One more jump across. That's a scary one. But by grabbing the edge there, he's got it. And now the tutorial boss of the game, he's just going to intentionally die to because it is faster. As we get into the sort of main game, proper game of Sekiro here. So as we are doing this, if we have any updates about donations, now might be a good time as we're just intentionally losing to this first boss.
There's always one of those, isn't there, in a run like this? Alright. Okay then. So, let me remind you, first of all, we have the exclamation mark donate function right here in the chat, and you can attach donations to some fabulous incentives that we have going on right now. So I was very brief when going into the introduction for this one. Happening during some of Besties is the Splattermaster run from Abyss Toaster, and we have a costume bid war that is going on right now. So we're going to be seeing a choice between Freddy Krueger, a Scarecrow, and a Human Boy, which is currently the leader in this one. But you could make a difference, you could change it up to something completely different, or you could bolster up the leader. So it's all on you to make a choice on that one. There's exclamation mark donate. Remember, even if your option it does not end up making it through, it's always more money for Project Hope. And that's got some amazing impact being brought on right there. $5 can give a thermal blanket to an earthquake survivor to protect them from the freezing cold. $10 can provide mental health and psychosocial support to a family. $50 can provide emergency medical supplies to meet the needs of 67 people for 1 month, and $100 can provide emergency medical supplies to 135 people for 3 months. If everyone can donate $5 all at once, then that would be amazing for that 135 people during that amount of time. Let's go for it! Exclamation mark donate!
Yes, absolutely. All money for a good cause. So now here Hamid is grabbing some items along the way that are going to be very important. The item that he just grabbed is the Gachin's Sugar, and that allows you to become more stealthy. It allows you to be harder to detect as you get through here, which is going to be very important for the boss fight that he is coming up on, the Chained Ogre. If you are in stealth, you can get a stealth death blow, which will take out basically half of the ogre's health, so that you only have to deal 1 additional death blow. Sekiro works on a system where you have to basically kill enemies or bosses twice. Not just Sekiro, not just the shadow of the game dies twice, but also many enemies, and you can take out one of them immediately with stealth here if he does it just right. So he's going to try to sneak up on the ogre without getting spotted by the ogre or by any of the enemies. All right, so now he's got it targeted. He's crouching, gets the death blow. Now, from here, he's basically just listening to the ogre's attacks and dodging when he hears them. The ogre's nice and slow, so he can just listen and dodge whenever he hears the danger symbol or whenever he hears the enemy grunt. He knows he can just get around. Oh, no, he's actually going for some deflects as well, which is awesome to see. It is very fast. I found it to be difficult, but Hamid has no problem with getting those deflects and then dodging the grabs. Just a bit more, and he should be able to have it. All right, excellent, excellent fight by Hamid. And now afterwards, you might be wondering, wait, why is he using this idol? Why is he going back to the previous idol after he just killed the ogre? Don't we want to continue on? It's to get to a consistent position. After you've killed the ogre, you have no idea what direction you're facing, no idea what position you're standing in. And so you need to go back to a consistent position so you know exactly where you are, and that ends up being using the idol. So from there, he can once again start with the counting sprints and doing various other completely consistent actions. And can always check where he is based on picking up items, based on hearing something break, such as those boards there. When those break, he knows exactly where he is, or by something like a grapple. If you grapple, you know exactly the position you're in because of the way that the game's grapple works. It's not like a slingshot. It's more like it just puts you into exactly the position where the grapple is. So he's doing all of this very consistent movement so that even while blindfolded, as long as he hears what's going on, he knows in exactly what position he's going to be in. So this snake here is actually one of the most deadly parts of the run. You wouldn't think it. It's not even like really a boss, but it's easy to get trapped here with the snake just kind of hitting you over and over again until you die. So he's got to be very, very careful and most importantly, very quickly to get by the snake before it can hit him. So you can see he's like very quickly getting down into this little safe area underneath, getting all the way to the corner, which is as close to where he wants to go as possible. And then when he hears the snake back off, when he hears that he's got time, he's going to go and get to the next area and start shimmying across the gap. He's got to wait here a bit to be sneaky. All right, so he hears the snake goes away. Does one little slash to the left. Importantly, slashes cannot have you fall off the edge, so if you just move to the left, you could just walk right off, but a slash to the left doesn't do that. Gets to the edge, shimmies along, and now he's trying to get safely into that little palanquin, is what it's called, the little like structure thing there. Oh no, he's gonna skip it! Wow, this is speedy! Okay, and... Yep, he's gonna grapple. A couple more grapples as the snake just comes flying by, but he knows it's not going to hit him. Very nice. He has made it through. That is one of the scariest sections, in my opinion, in the whole Blindfolded, and he makes it look easy. Makes it look like there was no threat whatsoever. All right, so now he should be able to get to the next idol, which is going to be his next Nope, wait. Okay, he is going to get it. Whew. If he had skipped that one, I would have been very, very surprised. We need this idol for consistency. It's also going to let us get back here if we need to, you know, if the fight goes wrong or anything else. And Hamid is just going directly towards the next fight. Wow, he has this route so optimized. Okay, so yet again, another boss fight. Now, this one is a little bit harder to hear than the ogre. He's not quite going to announce every single one of his attacks, but he's still somewhat predictable as long as you stay locked onto him. Excellent deflects. Those are so hard to do blindfolded. Nice. You like to see his longer combos because once you kind of hear the start of the combo, you know what he's going to do for a little while. And we don't want him to keep running around, but if he does, you can grapple onto him, which again is going to set us next to him. Oh, nice. He's got a stagger. Hamid is just absolutely shredding through Gyobu. What an impressive fight so far, but it's not over yet. He's almost got his first health bar down, but again, there will be a second one. during that second health bar, there are additional moves that he gains, which are very deadly, especially while doing blindfolded. But okay, he's got the first health bar down. Ooh, that was an interesting little optimization with the jump attack. I like that. Okay. Some more good combos to see. And an excellent stagger. Hamid is making super quick work of this. I think this is probably like a minute faster than I used to kill him. I used to do some slow stuff where I tried to run away and bait out some stuff. Okay, getting hit a few times. Unfortunately, locks the lock on as well. He's going to need to find that again, but I think he's got it. Oh, he's not sure if he's locked on here. Will he find it again? Gyobu's currently behind him, which is not where you want to be. Okay, that's one of the most dangerous moves. So that dragging his spear along the ground, if he touches you with it at any point, it'll like grab you and do a ton of damage, but Hamid's got it. Oh, another camera issue. Unfortunately, that's the big bane of this fight. Even if you do it sighted, you'll notice camera issues. Okay, so he has to revive, but luckily that is one of the mechanics of the game. In Sekiro, you do get 2 chances to kill everything, hence Shadows die twice. So he's still got a good shot here. Just a few more hits, hopefully no more camera issues. Oh no, not another one! It's very, very unfortunate. The camera trying to look that high very often has issues with the lock-on, but he's got it back, and he kills him. Beautiful, beautiful fight by Hamid. Honestly, just so impressive. Now, once again, we're at the end of a fight, so he has no idea where he is in the arena, so he will have to use the idol and basically make his way back to this point and do some exact movement to get to the next idol that's going to be at the doorway after Gyobu's arena. So as he gets back here, if there are any quick updates on the donations, we could do that, or I can keep explaining what will come next.
I mean, I can still end up bringing in some words right here. So I mentioned one incentive that had been going on so far, which is the Splattermaster costume choice. But we've also got a couple more ones that are also happening later on today. Also part of Summer Besties, we have the Titanfall 2 any % choice for the regular route and the out of bounds routes, which is for the auto-scroller section. So you can either go around like 300 kilometers per hour, but wait several minutes for an auto-scroller, or bypass the auto-scroller by doing a very elaborate out-of-bounds route, but lose time. As of right now, obviously, the out-of-bounds route is taking the lead on this one, but you could end up changing that, or even bolstering it. ! Donate goes into the chat. And remember, no matter what the outcome, all money is going towards Project Hope, and they've been doing some absolutely fantabulous work, as I already mentioned earlier. So I'm very happy to end up bringing it back over to you.
Absolutely. All right, so Hamid is making his way over towards the next boss, the Blazing Bull. One of the banes of blindfolded runners, even the bane of some, sighted runners, because it's very, very random. There's a lot of stuff he can do, and we're trying to keep it as consistent as possible. He also picked up an item called an Akko's Sugar. This increases our damage, so the more damage we have, the less time that we need to deal with, the attacks that a boss can do. And of course, it's also a speed run, so it's going to be faster. So here, he's again using some grapples to get his position. He didn't quite get the grapple he wanted here. He might be able to figure it out. If not, okay, good. He's got the grapple. He knows where he is now. And he can reset his camera as well by doing a ledge hang, which makes his character face exactly towards the wall, and then center the camera using the targeting button. So beautiful. So he knows exactly where he is. He can kill these 2 enemies here, and then make his way into the bullfight. So here, he confirms where he is by destroying that brazier. So he now knows where he is, and he can hug the wall and use this to get himself fully centered into the camera, target the enemy, and now he's all set up. Oh, looks like he's double checking. That's okay. That's a good idea. You always want to double check. All right. Gets the death blow on that guy. And now he's going to try to do a very specific setup here where he can get a deflect on the bull immediately. And oh, he's got it. Big headshots. You do a lot more damage to the bull if you can hit him in the head. He's done so much damage already, but unfortunately not getting some great attacks here. You don't want to see the bull running away. Does die once, but that's okay. You can revive. It's just the bull is very unpredictable, so he's got to hope that as he revives here, he can get back into the fight. Okay, getting some good deflects. And again, some good hits in the head as much as he can. He's almost got him. So close. The bull running away. Oh my gosh, I am so... Oh! He's got him, he just needs to get the death blow? Okay, there it worked. Oh, beautiful. That was scary. I was so scared for Hamid. I'm sure you guys could tell as well. 1 health left. The bull doing chip damage on every single deflect that you do means that he was going to keep losing life if he did not get him down right away, but he's got him. Let's go. All right, so now he uses, once again, the idol to know exactly where he is so he can travel to the next area. And you might think, well, if you use the idol after the boss kill, wouldn't you go backwards? But luckily in Sekiro, after the bull specifically, it unlocks the next idol for you. So when you use your sculptor's idol, it actually sends you to the next checkpoint instead. So we even get to go forward in space in addition to knowing exactly where we are. He was using some very precise, grappling here to get to the spot he wants, and he's got to run by some enemies. They're all tricky enemies. Is he going to deflect the Wu guy? Okay, doesn't quite get it, gets a block, but that's okay. And he's making his way towards the next area, the dojo of the game, and the next boss is going to be Genichiro. There is a skip that we're going to do to get up to Genichiro that is very scary, or he might choose to forego the skip for this particular marathon, but usually there's a skip here that we'll do. Let's see how he does it. First, he's going to grab some items, Fistful of Ash that we're going to need for a boss later, the Corrupted Monk, as well as a prayer bead. A gourd seed. This is going to be used for a strategy of looping bosses by using our heals. Every time you get a gourd seed, you can do 1 more heal, and heals can actually be used to manipulate the AI of enemies. Here he is going to go through the dojo a bit as we make our way up towards Genichiro. And man, he is flying through with these strats. You can see he just knows he's got some counts in his heads for how far he needs to go, each of these running sections, or if he needs to be super precise, he'll do counted out sprints, such as he did there, to get exactly against the edge. Death blow this guy. And hopefully make our way up. There is a guy chasing him, trying to kill him, but if he can do this fast enough, he should be able to grab the idol. And there it is. All right, now, instead of just resting there, which would already de-aggro the enemies, he's using his idol, again, to reset his position exactly. You can see he did a very quick way of getting to that idol, so he wasn't in a super consistent spot. He might have been slightly left on the idol or slightly right on the idol when he grabbed it, so instead he just uses go to last communed idol, and he can come and kill this Ashina elite. So this one, we're going to try to kind of loop him and deflect his attacks, which is really difficult blindfolded, but wow. Hamid making it look easy.
Thank you.
Nice. Yeah, he's hoping for the sweep attacks, and he did get 2 of them, which is very, very nice. Very good luck, and wow, just deals with him no problem. Beautiful, beautiful kill by Hamid. Now, he once again is going to go back to the last communed idol. Once again, get our consistent position and move on from here. So we're now set up potentially for the next boss of Genichiro Ashina, although he may want to go gather some items first. So first thing, yep, we are going to go back, and he's going to head along basically the route towards a boss that we will do a little bit after, the Armored Warrior in Senpo Temple. But along the way, there are some gourd seeds that we can pick up that can be used for additional heals. And as I mentioned, those heals can be used to manipulate the AI of enemies, specifically Genichiro. When we do the Genichiro fight, every time that we heal, Genichiro is going to go for a thrust attack. And when he goes for that thrust attack, we can consistently counter it with a Mikiri counter. So, as he makes his way over... so we're heading to the Lone Shadow here first. Another little mini boss fight. He's getting into a specific position where he knows he can get a falling death blow, take out half of the boss's health. There is then a particular cheese you can do, which he's going to do here, where you get into the corner, force Lone Shadow to get into the corner, and then just hit him. You might think, why is Lone Shadow not blocking? It's actually because Hamid is facing at about a 90-degree angle to him, and enemies are programmed not to try to block you if you are facing more away from them than towards them. So he got to just the right spot where he could face just slightly away, but be close enough that his sword hits. The enemy won't block it, and you can just take him out very, very easily. All right, so as he makes his way through the abandoned dungeon, he's going to want to grab some money here. There is a big bag of money that he's going to want to try to grab, and presumably the idol as well for kind of a little bit of safety so that we can get through here, but we'll see exactly how he chooses to do it. Yep, he does grab it. Excellent. And just resets his position using the last communed idol. Once again, so he knows exactly where he is. Once again, Blindfolded is really all about consistency. It's all about making sure that you have as much information as you possibly can about your positioning. So anything that can make it so you know exactly where you are, such as using an idol, is a big, big help. So now we're going basically just through another boss arena. There's this Shichiman warrior here, but we can just go directly through his arena towards the other side. Once he breaks the brazier, he knows where he is. All right, and now basically making our way, this is technically almost like backwards a little bit towards this area, but now moving on over here towards the Senpo Temple generally. Grabs this idol, once again, a very consistent position that you know you could be at. A lot of these idols are technically skippable if you wanted to go for like a very, very fast world record run. But as far as beating the game normally, it's going to be a lot quicker generally to use these idols, where you know exactly where you are and you're not going to mess up the next section and have to go way back, 5 minutes of gameplay. You might only go back like a minute or two. All right, grab some more Akko Sugar. Once again, increase our damage for a lot of the fights so that they're over quicker. And then this swimming is really, really hard and inconsistent. The swims on it are not just like you can go a specific amount. So that's why you'll see he kind of swims a little too far into the corner. But now at least he knows exactly where he's going to end up. And ends up running by these guys. Very nice. And now he's got to pull the handle on the elevator. So if he gets all the way up against the wall, nice, he's got it. From pulling that elevator handle, once again, he knows exactly where he is. So he's just going to do a couple of slashes to put himself in the right position, to walk exactly forward, pull the next elevator handle, and make his way up. All right, into Senpo Temple. Our order of business here is basically to make our way through Blindfolded, which again, it's going to involve a lot of that counting how far that you're going in specific directions. But also, we're going to be picking up some items along the way. So we have to make almost little bits of detours. He kind of missed the idol here, but he knows he's close to it. Hopefully he can find it. An unfortunate thing about Sekiro is if you're not looking at the thing that you're trying to get, then it won't let you get it. But in this case, love to talk about this thing. With idols, they make a little bit of a hum. So even if you miss it, you can listen around. Sekiro has like directional sound, so you can hear it more in your left ear or your right ear. And basically, if you hear it in your left ear, you know, oh, I need to turn left to get to the idol. If you hear it in your right ear, you know you need to turn right, and you can basically just kind of guess and check until eventually you find it. All right, so here he is sprinting through. We do want to stay towards the outside of this area so that we don't get spotted by all the monks. If you get spotted by all the monks, trying to avoid them while making your way through is really, really difficult. He will get spotted a little bit at the end, most likely, but by that time he's ready to escape and hopefully should not get hit. So he's just doing some specific grabbing edges in order to reset his positioning and grappling all the way through. All right, and so now he just needs to make sure that he gets this last grapple. He's got it, and we're into the cricket room. Now, the crickets are very tricky. They can try to move you around a lot. So he wants to grab this Akko sugar and then jump near these little statues, basically because the crickets don't go up there. He's even going to, slash some of the crickets here to get them out of the way, and continue slashing to make sure that if there were any, they're not going to get in his way so he can make his way through. And here he wants to grab the gourd seed at the end here. It's a bit tricky to make sure he gets it. Oh no, he's actually even skipping it. Ooh. So he says, I don't need that gourd seed. I'm confident on Genichiro even without it. And just goes right through the room. And that is a smart play of if you did grab that gourd seed, oftentimes you'll have to go all the way back through that section again. And that's not very fast. And Hamid has very much optimized this route. So that is one of his optimizations. So he's almost made it here to the next idol, the next checkpoint where he'll know exactly where he is. This little cave nicely kind of funnels you right at it. So no problem, and he's got it.
All right.
Yeah, he is he is glad to get through that section because it is a bit tough. So now he is going to make his way back, and he's going to go grab an important item, the firecrackers that is sold by this merchant as well as a required part of progression through the game, you need to talk to this guy, Tengu, over here. It is part of a required quest in order to beat the game. So to do that, he's basically just running till he falls off the edge, and the sound of falling will let him know that he's exactly where he wants to be. So a cool little strat there. And now he's going to make his way inside this building, talk to Tengu to activate the next part of the quest. It'll move someone completely separate. Ishin has absolutely nothing to do with Tengu. I'm just kidding. If you haven't played the game, Ishin basically disguises himself as Tengu. So you need to talk to him here and refuse his quest in order to get him to move to the next area where we can progress the story in a little bit. And we can go grab the firecrackers item here. The firecrackers are super, super helpful. They will basically startle enemies, causing them to cover their face. And so this can be used in order to basically stun lock some enemies and get very, very easy, quick kills on them. In addition, he's buying some fistfuls of ash, which are also basically used for the same thing. They're a consumable item you can throw and make an enemy cover their face, as well as a dragon's blood droplet, which is basically for safety. It lets you get your revive back, even after you have spent it in combat, and so it can give you additional revives if you need them. He's also going to go talk to Emma here. Emma is the way that you can spend your gourd seeds in order to upgrade your healing gourd to give it additional uses of healing. And the more uses of healing you have, of course, the easier it's going to be to survive. But also, as I mentioned, some of that manipulating enemies' AI. Lastly, on our trip of sort of gathering upgrades before we finally start fighting things, is we are going to get the skill book from the sculptor, the Shinobi Esoteric Text. That's going to let us use skills or level up our skills, basically. We have a bunch of skill points, and we can finally spend them. And so we can spend them on that Mikiri counter, which counters thrust attacks, as well as later we can use it on jumping combat arts, which are going to be more powerful versions of the regular combat arts. So he's basically getting absolutely everything set up in order to deal with all the bosses in the game. He's also buying a ton of spirit emblems. These are what are going to empower your abilities and allow you to do things like the firecrackers require spirit emblems. And later we're going to get a skill called Mortal Draw that also requires these emblems. All right, so he's making his way to Genichiro now. This is a very, very scary fight. He's gonna, do some consistent movement to get there, but you can see he has equipped just a lot of healing items, because every time that we use those healing items, we know that Genichiro is gonna do a thrust attack. So Genichiro has actually 3 health bars rather than the usual 2. For the first 2, he can either fight him directly, or more likely he's going to try to get him stuck in the corner, just like we saw with Lone Shadow. And yep, looks like he's going for it here. Did not quite slip into the right spot, though, so this is not going to quite work the first time. He's got to quit out and try it again. When you quit out, it does put you in front of the boss before you walked in and engaged them, so he doesn't have to go all the way back to the idol, although he can if he wants to get his health back. But probably he's just going to go straight into the fight a second time. And yeah, here it is. All right, hopefully he can slide into the right spot here. It's very hard to do. You have to kind of slide past Genichiro, pushes you a little to the right, and then you have to correct to the left into the corner. Oh, unfortunately does die, and that is going to make Genichiro slip out one more time. So because he's on lower health, he did die immediately there. Normally it would be okay to take a hit as you're putting Genichiro into position, but it does not quite work if you're already on low health from a previous attempt. All right, hopefully third time will be the charm here. If he can get him into the corner, the rest is not too hard to maintain. You just have to do a steady rhythm. So we'll see if he can get it. Excellent, gets over his attacks, starts into the loop, so now he's just got to keep this constant rhythm, and he should be able to keep Genichiro into the corner. Once Genichiro is ready to death blow, he's going to have to turn towards him to get the death blow, and that can be a little scary because it can adjust your character and your camera a little bit, so we'll see if hopefully he can get it, no problem. He's got the death blow, and now he's just got to straighten his character back out. Yeah, no problem. Beautiful. All right, so as he continues this here, he should be able to get into the third and final phase, where he's going to basically use all of his items to get as much damage on Genichiro as he can to start, and then just fight him after. He starts with an Akko Sugar, which will always bait out a thrust attack, and then loops into the rest of his items, the rest of his healing items. So there's the Mikiri counter, healing gourd, Mikiri counter, healing gourd, Mikiri counter. Oh! He was a little bit early on the counter, but that's okay. He recovered it by doing another heal to force out the next thrust attack. Okay. He's getting the loop pretty good here, but he's going to have to deal with Genichiro a little bit. He's next going to use firecrackers in order to get some free damage in. But it's not going to fully kill him, I think. I think he's going to have to fight him a little bit at the end here. Just straight up fight him. Yep. Oh, unfortunately. He guessed a little wrong. Genichiro has several attacks he can do after that overhead. Oh, doesn't quite get the lightning counter either. He's in a bit of a tough spot here. But he still has a chance. Okay, getting some good deflects. Knows the thrust attack gets the Mikiri. Huge, he's almost there. His posture got broken, but he's still okay. Oh, no. That's so unfortunate. Yep, he'll have to try again. Now, this time, he has used up some of his resources. That's not the greatest. He's going to have a few less resources for this second try, depending on how many pellets. Okay, he does actually have enough pellets for a second try. He's got some good safety here, so he should be totally fine for a second try. Just if it takes, several more tries, he might end up wanting to reload a save, but he definitely has at least enough for one more try. Oh, doesn't quite make it out of the window this time. That's unfortunate. He'll just have to redo his movement. Not the worst thing to happen. As you all can see, This blindfolded fights especially are super difficult. You know, it is very easy for one little tiny thing to go wrong. You're a little too early or a little too late on one input, and you kind of have to improvise from there. Your entire script kind of goes out the window. And Hamid did a beautiful job there. Almost had Genichiro, and hopefully he can get it here this second time. He's being a little bit more cautious with his movement this time, really setting up his spacing, but doesn't quite get out of the window one more time here. The slash there is taking him just a little bit further right than he's hoping for, so hopefully he can figure that out and fix it. That's also one of the hardest parts of Blindfolded is if you practice a strat, 100 times and it seems to be working, and then it suddenly stops working in the middle of a run, it's like, how do you fix that? You can just kind of like guess, okay, was I too far left or too far right? And make adjustments until eventually you can get there. So it can be really, really tough to do. He's got it this time, I think. Okay. Makes it out of the window. His way over to the corner. Once again, slashing. Make sure that you can't fall off, but ooh, when he sprinted forward, he did fall lower than he wanted. He is going to have to redo this one more time. I know he can do this, though. He got the movement the first time, so I'm sure he can figure it out again. It's just, it can be very, very tough to find your bearings when you literally can't see. You literally can't find them, so you kind of just have to keep, I don't know, almost improvising slight improvements to the strategy as you go. Which sounds impossible, and it kind of is, but eventually through enough tries, he should be able to make his way here. All right, gets out of the window again. This time does not fall down, but he didn't quite get the grapple. There it is. All right. Cool. Gets his way back into the fight. Let's see if he can get back into the loop. This is generally the hardest part of the fight, is getting into the loop at the start here. And he's got it no problem. All right, just has to maintain this rhythm. So what he's doing, again, is looking away from the enemy so that he's not going to block. And then basically, in order to make sure he keeps hitting, he's doing a block, then an attack, then a block, then an attack. If he's too fast, then it won't register his attack. And if he's too slow, then Genichiro can have time to hit him in between his hits. So he has to time it pretty precisely. It's not too difficult, but it is something that you definitely need a lot of practice in. And Hamid is an expert, as he is showing here. So again, once he makes his way into the third phase, buffing with the Akko Sugar to increase his damage so that he doesn't have to go through the phase quite as long. Then he's going to be looping with all of the healing items and countering the thrust attacks, and then finally trying to finish him off with firecrackers, attacking and deflecting the rest of his attacks. All right. So he's into the Healing Gourd loop. Oh, he is canceling that Healing Gourd loop very early into the firecrackers. Now, this can be an interesting strategy where you can then restart the loop if you want, or you can even wait till if you die doing the loop afterwards, because whenever you die, you know that he's going to be available for the loop a second time. Okay. It looks like he's basically just deciding to fight him straight up, which is difficult. Does take one death, but that is okay. He knows he can revive here. Oh, he's going to go with the firecrackers.
Oh my god.
He's very low on health. No. That is unfortunate.
Really bad luck.
Yeah. He's probably thinking about now if he wants to possibly load a save. And in case anyone is wondering, he cannot hear me talking so that I'm not distracting him through these strategies, because he really needs to hear what's going on. So we can hear him, but he cannot hear us. So he does have enough Akko for at least, 2 more tries. Although he might not want to use all of his Akkos on Geni. There are other bosses coming up that he might want them for later. He is also running very low on emblems. He only has 14 currently. The maximum that you would normally have is 15. That's okay for this fight because the Firecracker spends them in sets of 2, so that one missing one is not going to come to bite him. He can still only get 7 Firecrackers off, but he is running very, very low for future bosses again. We need to preserve as many resources as we can. So let's pray that he can get it this time. If he doesn't, I think he will probably want to reload a save. So he got into the loop very, very easily here, and he's getting himself ready for that second phase. All right, showing masterfully how to loop him in the corner with these blocks and attacks. All right, into the third phase again. Good luck, Hamid. Come on, you got this. All right, so he's not even using his Akko Sugar. He does want to save it, so this is going to be an even longer fight. He just has to fight perfectly, basically. But he's got the Mikiri counter on the thrust attack. He's got some good deflects. He's really, really good at just fighting this boss when he needs to. Unfortunately, he does get the attack that cannot be fully deflected. There's kind of like a little weird, almost bug in the code, but gets right back into the fight with that healing gourd. No problem. Oh, deflects the thrust attack. That's very hard to do. Very impressive. Okay. He's healing anytime that he needs to. Get back in with that Mikiri counter. He's almost there. Does he get the lightning counter? Ah, unfortunately, he doesn't quite land the counterpart. So he's going to have to revive one more time. Hopefully he's got this. He's very low on resources. Oh, no.
Worst luck ever.
Yeah. That's definitely not what you want to see.
I'll try one more time. If I cannot hit him, I'll have to load from a save file.
Absolutely. I think that's the correct decision. So he's letting us know. One more try, and then he'll load from a save file. You know, he wants to show this off with no loading from a save. You know, that as a runner, that's always what you want to do. You'd love to show it off without having to load, but it's a marathon. These things absolutely happen, and especially in Blindfolded, you know, no shame in getting a few of those resources back so that you're at that full strength and have the best chance of getting through. Blindfolded is such a difficult beast. If you died once or twice on Genichiro in a real run attempt, you would just have to, like, reset the entire run. So it's admirable that he's even going for this third and fourth attempt to see if he can do it without loading a save. He's got him into the loop one more time here. Just getting those excellent attacks. His rhythm is just beautiful on this. Takes out the first death blow, onto the second. And yeah, as he makes his way into the third phase, what we're basically hoping for the third phase, normally lightning would be very, very good, but it's very hard to hear while blindfolded. So if you can get a lightning counter, it's very powerful, but if you can't, it can completely mess it up. So generally, we don't necessarily always want the lightning, but we do definitely not want... Oh, he does get the lightning counter, though. That's huge. That gives a ton of damage right away. Gets a second lightning. Does not get the counter on that one. It's very rare that he'll do 2 in a row, so Hamid was not quite expecting it. Okay, does get his posture broken. Okay, his first life is down, but that is okay. He's got tons of healing left. Uses the heal to get the free Mikiri counter, get himself back into the fight. He's back to full. This is the attack you really don't want to see, is that big flurry. Does break his posture. Okay, he's trying to back off and heal. Oh my, he dodges the lightning. That is huge. He did not have time to jump and get the counter, so just getting a dodge there was awesome. Gets a Mikiri counter on the thrust attack. Okay, he's playing super well. Oh, he gets the flurry again. Once again, not what you want to see. Can't quite get away. Oh, but he dodges through the final hit. Oh, it's scary. It's right down to it. Not good attacks to see. Oh, no, he's lost his lock on.
I'll have to reset from a save file because we have the least items for killing the Genichiro. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so he will have to load a save. That is totally okay. That is definitely not the end of the world.
In this case, I have to load from the save file in order to have my items, as this run is extremely risky with the least possible items.
Yeah, so he needs those Akko sugar back. He
Normally,
needs
if
those
we
emblems back.
die to Genichiro, we're just gonna restart the whole run. And man, that's so risky and hard to pass. Because normally we're gonna finish him up with 2 persimmons, or not even need to fight him normally for the last phase.
Mm-hmm. So now that he does have his resources back and is heading back towards the fight, hopefully this time he can show off how it should have worked that first time, where you can kind of lock him in and get him where he can't really do too much. So he's redoing all of his menuing here to make sure everything is in the correct spot, because his save file did not quite have all the items exactly where they needed to be. And now he's heading back into it one more time. So now he has all of his resources back, so he should be fine to get the kill here. As long as he can make it back to that final phase with those resources, should be a bit easier than what he's been having to experience. So once again, gets him locked into the loop, which is just so impressive. His consistency at getting this is really, really huge. I remember when I was running this category, I could only get it maybe about half the time, and you can see he messed it up only once, and the rest of the times has been bang. He's gotten it every time, so very, very impressive consistency from Hamid, and with these items, hopefully we'll be able to get that final phase as well. All right, gets our second death blow here. And let's see if he can do it. So he starts with that Akko sugar for the damage buff. And then tries to loop as much as he can with the rest of the items. Use the healing to get the Mikiri counter. And then just repeating over and over again. So far, so good. And then once he's out of those healing items, he's going to be using the firecrackers. We'll get him really, really low. Just does one attack at a time for those firecrackers. Basically gets him 7 free attacks in. And now Genichiro is almost dead, and he just needs a tiny bit more. Excellent deflect. He's got him! Let's go! Beautiful kill. Let's go, Hamid. Excellent, excellent. That's how that's supposed to go.
Fighting Genichiro is extremely hard because we don't have enough items to fight him.
Exactly, exactly.
We're not gonna get persimmons in this run, so that's why this run is extremely risky and hard.
Beautiful. Could not have said it better myself. This run is so difficult, and Hamid is doing such an amazing job on the run so far. Now that we've basically used up those items from the fight, he's going to just reset his items to now something different, make his way down, and now basically we've got to do some just talking with different characters. He knows how to do this exactly, so while he is talking to the different characters and progressing the plot, why don't we talk to the host and see if there's any updates on those donations and incentives?
So first of all, that was a very, very intense goal for Genyu right there. You know what we really need after that? And after that very hype aftermath? A donation train, please. I would absolutely love to end up seeing that happen. ! Donate can go in the chat, and that is all on you to send in that thing going on. So yes, can we do a €5 donation train for that amazing push through, Genny? In fact, we've also got some amazing incentives to end up going through. One such incentive that will happen right at the start of NSG block later tonight is Cluster Truck and the choice of the truck colors. As of right now, the color choice is going to be set to pink, but we have a few hours to either cement its lead or change it to something else. There are some amazing options going on for that right now, including the Discord Classic Blurple, Orange, and Blue, or you could also nominate a brand new option for this one. So remember, exclamation mark, donate in the chat, and even if your choice does not hold out, it's still an amazing contribution right there for Project Hope.
Yes, every donation absolutely helps. We love to see all those donations coming in for a great cause. So here, Hamid is going to now be making his way towards Ishin. This is why we needed to talk to Tengu earlier, was in order to get Ishin to move to this spot here. Once again, showing off that as you are slashing, you get immunity from falling off of ledges. This is kind of like a classic game mechanic. This is something you'd see all the way back in like Ocarina of Time. They would often use their sword in order to not fall off ledges, and in fact you could kind of trick the game into thinking you have your sword out with other like glitches and stuff, so you could just never fall off ledges. We don't quite have that form of a glitch here in Sekiro, but just being able to attack near ledges and know you're not going to fall off is very powerful for making your way around Blindfolded. He has to talk to Ishin here because it will open up the folding screen monkeys fight. It is a mandatory boss fight. The folding screen monkeys allows us to get the mortal blade and sever immortality. This is like part of the story of what's going on, and so we do need to talk to Ishin there in order to do that. So next we're going to make our way back to the Senpo Temple, and we're going to head towards our next boss fight. We affectionately call him Roberto. Officially, he is the armored warrior. But you'll hear at the end of the fight why we call him Roberto. But in order to defeat him, basically Roberto has this very, very scary long combo, but if we can bait him into doing it properly, we know the proper timing to deflect it, and we can like instantly knock him off the ledge. There are some backup strategies or some you know, improvisation strategies, and I don't know if Hamid is going to go for them. When I was running this category, I would just reset over and over and over again until I got exactly the attack that I wanted. But Hamid might have, you know, a better strat than that. We'll see how he does. He just goes right into it. Starts with an ash in order to get him to cover his face, and then a firecracker. Ooh, I think he might just have enough resources to just like force him into the big combo. There it is. You'll love to see it. It's going to get him very low. Now he's got to get a few more attacks in to get him off of the ledge here. Okay. Looks like he might barely have the damage. He's got to make sure to knock him off the edge. And he's got it. Wow. What a clean fight. That is huge. And he falls off with him. I love it. And you can hear that Roberto scream at the end. Now, when you fall off the edge, it does set you to a consistent position. So he knows exactly where he is and can move his way towards the end. That is a beautiful and brilliant strategy, using intentionally falling off during a boss fight in order to set your position to where you want it. That is awesome. Picks up this idol here. We're now kind of safe and can make our way into the next section. All right, so as we make our way through towards the folding screen monkeys, he's basically going to be navigating along these rooftops here, once again using all of the grapples. This is something you'd basically see in a sighted speedrun as well. He just has to count out his sprints in order to know exactly where he's going to be and make sure that he can keep his position. Hopefully he does not get hit. There's this one little guy that likes to throw things at you, can mess up your positioning, but it looks like he's going to do okay here. Oh, even using the Gachin sugar for stealth. All right, so here you actually have to do 2 jumps here. It's an interesting strategy that we found. Basically, if you only do 1 jump, you'll always grapple onto the right of the branch, but if you do a second jump, it'll actually swap where it's targeting to the left of the branch. I don't know why, but it's a very, very cool strategy. To get to the left of the branch, you just jump twice instead of once. All right, so here he's using some targeting to make sure that he knows the exact position that he's at to open this door. Because he's got the Gachin Sugar going, he should be able to make it through here without getting attacked from behind, hopefully. But there are some enemies nearby. Okay, makes his way in. And he is going to grab this idol for safety. He could have gone straight into the monkeys fight, but grabbing this for safety I think is a great idea. The monkeys is a puzzle fight where you need to chase them around. So it's surprisingly hard to sort of do that while blindfolded, to chase them around to the right areas. But if you do it in the right way, you can kind of trick the monkeys into getting where you want. And actually, even before he does that, he's going to grab this safety bundled Jizo statue. That, again, is going to get him his revive back in later encounters if he needs it. And now he can head into the folding screen monkeys fight. All right, he's using another Gachin Sugar, so he's going for basically a very speedy strat. If you don't use the Gachin, they'll always spot you, and you can kind of predict where they're going to go. But if you do use a Gachin, you'll be stealthy enough, you can actually kill them while they don't know where you are, which is even faster. You can just, like, not have to chase them around at all, but just kill them while they don't see you. Ooh, can he get it? This is the tough one. The orange one here is in kind of a weird position, but you want to get the backstab, and he's got it. All right, and so now from here, he's going to grapple down, try to sneak up on the green monkey in the middle. Doesn't see him. Gets it very nicely. And then lastly, there's a purple monkey. It's easiest to actually have him on purpose see you so that he'll run into the dark spot where you can know to get him, but I'm not sure that's what Hamid is doing. No, he does see him, so he's letting the purple monkey run and just counting his sprints to chase him into the dark room here. And in the dark room, the purple monkey cannot see you. It's like you have stealth, and so you can just target him, take him out. Beautiful kill by Hamid. Beautiful, beautiful. Solving the puzzle by, just stealthing through so they don't know. He's even actually using the last Gachin Sugar here, wasting it on purpose so that it will no longer be in his inventory, and he doesn't have to worry about later on, as he's going through his inventory, wondering whether he has that extra Gachin or not. So he's just making sure, yep, I'm definitely getting rid of it, and so I definitely don't have it in my inventory. All right, so now he's going to talk to the Divine Child, get the Mortal Blade. This is going to be both lore important, story important, as well as it's our most powerful skill. It does a ton of damage. You're going to see it on basically every fight from now on is going to be a bunch of mortal draws as much as we can. He also got a skill that lets him use it while jumping, the mid-air combat arts. And that, for some reason, increases the power of the Mortal Draw skill. It doesn't increase the power of any other skill, so I guess it's just sort of a special skill that is supposed to do more when you're in the air. I'm not sure. I don't know if there's a lore reason. But he also talks to the child and gets Rice. Rice is a powerful heal. The Rice heals you over time, similar to the pellet, but it heals like your entire health bar over, like, I don't know, 15 seconds or something. So if you use that at the start of a fight, even if you get hit once or twice during the fight, the Rice can basically just keep healing you through it as you keep having to fight, and you don't have to worry about stopping the fight to heal. So very, very powerful thing to pick up. And if he does use the Rice, he can always pick up more from the Divine Child later. All right, so here he is falling down to our next area. This is heading towards the Corrupted Monk, but in order to get through there, first we need to go past the Snake Eyes enemy. So he's grabbing some more Fistful of Ash along the way. As you saw on Roberto, that Ash was super powerful, sort of stun-locking him a few times so that he could get a bunch of hits. It's going to be even more powerful on the Corrupted Monk because the Corrupted Monk doesn't have a cooldown on how often you can stun with the Ash. Roberto, he only got to use the Ash twice, but on the Corrupted Monk, he can use it a whole lot more than that. So that's why he's got so many of them. He also grabs a Pacifying Agent here, which is going to prevent terror. And terror is something that will instantly kill you on some of these fights, so he's making sure that he will not get instantly killed by terror by picking that up. And now heading over towards the Snake Eyes fight. The Snake Eyes, we're going to try to basically only use Mortal Draw to kill her very quickly, as well as, I believe he's going to use an Akko Sugar. I was using an Akko Sugar. You could do it without. We'll see what he decides to do. But yeah, equipping the Mortal Draw. And yes, using an Akko Sugar for that increase in damage. So he's basically going to do a jumping Mortal Draw, and then wait a little bit, and then do another jumping Mortal Draw after this Firecracker to stagger her, and boom, takes her out immediately. So there you can see the power of Mortal Draw. It is so powerful that you basically kill her in 2 uses of it. So all he had to do was use a Firecracker to make sure that she wouldn't hit him in the meantime. Beautiful, beautiful fight. Right here, this cavern is actually so big and so open, it can be really hard to navigate. But luckily, if you just kind of run to the end of it, you get stuck always in the same position, so you know where you are. All right, the next fight coming up will be the Mist Noble fight. As we like to say, the hardest fight in the game. But in Blindfolded, it is actually a little bit tricky to get to and kill the Mist Noble. You're not particularly in danger of dying, per se, but it is tricky to navigate. So we'll see how he does it here. There's a few different paths that you can go to get there. Ooh, I like the grapples that he's doing here. Gets him over onto this area, where he's now going to get a Yashariku Sugar by falling down here, as well as this path is going to get him to some Snap Seeds as well in just a bit. And the Yashariku Sugar is basically a more powerful version of the Akko's Sugar. It increases your damage by even more, but it does also cut your maximum health by half, so it can be very scary. He's also grabbing Contact Medicine and Bite Down. I don't believe he actually needs the Bite Down for anything, but the Contact Medicine is important for a skip that we're going to do later. This is not a glitchless category. It's mostly glitchless, but you'll see there we've got one big glitch that's going to come up in just a bit. All right, so now he's making his way over towards the Mist Noble. Oh, interesting. He's kind of going slightly backwards, technically, with this grapple here, and he's in fact just going to go entirely back with the idol, unfortunately getting hit. Hopefully this time they will not interrupt his idol.
Bad luck.
Yep, a little bit of bad luck, but that's okay. So he's going to go from the idol again to get to the Mist Noble. He wasn't quite able to do it all in one go, but that's not such a big deal. In fact, that's kind of expected in Blindfolded. Oh, he got the wrong grapple there as well. The grapple system in this game is deterministic, as in, like, if you did the same thing every time, you'd get the same grapple every time, but can feel a little random with if there's multiple grapples on the screen, which one the game happens to prioritize. Okay, cool. This time he's got the grapple he wants. All right, and he's just going to make his way all the way back over to the Mist Noble. And there's a little skip that we do here, a little tree skip to get onto the Mist Noble house once we get there. It's supposed to be kind of a little puzzle where you're supposed to have to go around and get to the house from the backside. But turns out that there is a little tree that they placed in front of the house that is just the right height that we can make it up. Uh-oh, he did not quite get up there where he was expecting. Yeah, he's going to have to redo his movement one more time here.
I guess not.
Yep. Can be sort of some of the frustrations of Blindfolded is obviously, if you're sighted, you would know you didn't make the jump and you could easily correct it. But in Blindfolded, if anything goes wrong, you know, you basically are forced into a bad choice of you either have to redo a bunch of stuff and lose a lot of time, or you have to try to fix it, which very rarely works. So he makes, I think, the wiser decision of just going back and doing it all again. But yeah, it is going to cost him some time every time that he does have to do this again. All right, hopefully this time he can make it. So he's hoping to basically, he's kind of sliding along the wall here, and he wants to make sure that as he jumps, he gets up on this little ledge here. That's... Okay, does he know that he didn't get it? Yep, he made it up. Okay, nice. And now he's got the grapple he was looking for, and so that is going to be a nice load off of his mind of like, okay, I got the grapple, now I know generally where I am. He's going to jump up onto this wood board, and again, use slashing does not make you fall off edges in order to get right to the corner so he knows exactly where he is. Uses the targeting in order to basically turn Sekiro around into the right position. And with some buffered inputs, he can make his way onto the roof. Beautiful. All right, so now here comes the Miss Noble fight. We're not too worried about dying to Miss Noble, but Miss Noble can get stuck on things and take a while longer, but nope, Hamid's got him no problem. And because Miss Noble is pretty consistent, he does even know where he is well enough to just continue on. He does not have to idle back here. There is some very, very slight inconsistencies, but hopefully he'll be able to make his way all the way to the next idle without having to go back. It would save him a lot of time. Looks like he knows exactly where he is. The positioning, the movement is going very well so far for all of the dashes that he's doing are getting him into the right position. Does a jump, gets the grapple. That's huge. So now he basically just has to navigate to this idol. It's a little scary because it's on a cliff. So even though you can navigate by sound, if you did miss it, you could have fallen off, but he's got it here, no problem. Beautiful, beautiful. That's definitely a section that you could use a lot of time, or you could lose a lot of time on, but he has no problems there. All right, next he's heading back to Senpo. Okay, doing things in an interesting order here. So he is now going to go. We have the puppeteer skill from defeating the monkeys that allows you to puppeteer this little guy right here. Basically mind control him. Oh, did not quite get the backstab though. You have to get the backstab for the puppeteer to work. So he's gonna have to try it one more time. It looked like he should have gotten the puppeteer. It had the red deathblow dot, but sometimes if you do it immediately after dashing, it can prioritize the dash attack instead. So he'll just have to do it one more time here. But yeah, when you puppeteer it, when you mind control him, you basically force him to raise a kite that we can then use in another area of the map in order to get to the next section. So this is intended that you are supposed to puppeteer this guy for the kite, but what we do after using the kite is going to be very much not intended. So we're setting ourselves up for a little bit of a glitchy skip in just a second. So he's got the puppeteer. You can see the guy start to run over and start cranking the kite as he ports out. All right. Yep, he did not want the bite down in his inventory, so he's just getting it out here by using it up. And using the coin purse, again, get that out of his inventory, but there is a use to that one. We can buy some more spirit emblems. And now making our way over to Shugendo, which is the closest one to where the kite is. So he's going to do some backwards movement. He's going to go a little bit backwards through the map in order to get to where the kite is. Beautiful movement so far. He's going to go up onto the roof next, and then make his way across the roof onto the tree. And so from here, we've got the kite. Again, all of this is intended, but it's only intended to be useful after you have gone through an area called the gun fort. When you go through the gun fort, it is supposed to move the giant snake in order for you to be able to go from the kite to the giant snake. All right, so Hamid is damaging himself here by jumping off of the edge. This is not a mistake. He is doing this on purpose. Because he is going to need to die in just a little bit using the contact medicine. So once he first. Oh! Oh, he's doing... Oh, my... Okay, I did not even realize. He is doing... Oh, I love this. This is a beautiful, beautiful skip. I was not doing this in my blindfolded runs. So he is basically going to try to die at the same time as he grapples onto this kite. And so that is going to cause him to keep his momentum from the kite grapple so that he can fly all the way to the next boss. Let's see if he can get it.
Let's hope
it's
it
very
works.
precise. Yeah,
Yeah.
hope it works. I think he's got it. I think he's got it. That's huge. Wow. I love that skip. That is one of my favorite skips. I did not even realize he had routed that into this run. That is an amazing, amazing skip to see. And so now he's already like basically towards the next boss. He's got to be a little careful with his movement here, not to fall off. Luckily, these ledges have some ledge protection, so he doesn't have to keep attacking. He can just walk along them and grab some more pacifying agent as he makes his way towards the ape. Still a little scary, some ledges to get by, but he should be able to make his way towards the idol and get himself set up for the next boss, the Guardian Ape. Now, the Guardian Ape is going to be the most difficult boss, in my opinion at least, in this blindfolded run. We've seen some stuff that's been tough. Oh, and he's saving it for a little later. I think this is smart. He's going back to Mibu Village now, and now we're going to do the Corrupted Monk. So, never mind me about the Guardian Ape. That'll come up in just a bit. But first, to get to the Corrupted Monk, he needs to make his way through Mibu Village, which has a few grapple points, but not a ton, so he's going to use them as much as he can to keep a consistent position. But at a certain point, you kind of just have to make your way through by walking, which can be a little bit tougher to keep track of your positioning, but luckily we also have this wall to slide along, and we can count out the sprints, so he should know roughly where he is. And then with another grapple, he can make his way onto this roof here and eventually get his way into the water. The water is very inconsistent because you can't do... Normally, as I've mentioned, you can just count out the sprints. But in water, when you sprint, they don't always go the same distance because it depends on exactly how long you hold the buttons for. So you can't just count out the swims, but if you count them out, you'll get pretty close to where you want. And then you can see he just goes very slowly at the end to make sure he doesn't miss the grapple. Okay, so here he's making his way over. Now, there is some resources we would like to have in this house over here. You could skip it, and we'll see if he does. I always went into the house to grab the resources, but no, it looks like he's saying, hey, I don't need those resources. I can just go straight to the monk. So, very brave play, but I respect it for sure. So now he's going to basically try to stun lock the monk using the items that he has in his inventory. So he's going to redo all of his menuing here to make sure that everything is in exactly the right spot. He knows exactly what is where. He uses Yashiriku Sugar to do a bunch of extra damage. He's going to run in and basically do a few attacks and then stun with an item. Few attacks, stun with an item, and try to repeat that until the boss is entirely dead. And you can see this is where all of those fistful of ashes that he's been picking up are going to come into handy. You can just keep throwing them and attacking and throwing them and attacking, and there's not really anything that the Corrupted Monk can do. He can also use his firecrackers once he runs out of the ash, and it looks like he'll have to use just a couple. He's almost got her. But yeah, if you can stun lock her with items, a lot easier than trying to fight her normally. She is one of the trickiest bosses, even-sided, so getting this quick kill on her like this is huge. Oh, even ends it in style with a mortal draw. I love that. I love that. Gives a little peace sign to the camera. Love to see that. That is huge. All right, so now from here, he's basically just going to use his ears in order to get to the idol. So he can hear if it's a bit left of him or a bit right of him. Yep. And he's just... He's going to probably go past it a few times. It is hard to navigate while you can't see, but he can now hear, you know, oh, it's in his left ear now, so he's turning left. Oh, now it's to his right. He's turning right. He's unfortunately gone past it a few times. This is taking a bit longer than you would have expected, but he's got it eventually. All right. All right, now he's throwing away the rest of his ash so that they don't get get in the way of his menuing again. Very, very smart move. Just double check that all of the items are gone. And the reason I say get in the way of his menuing is because, of course, he can't see. So when he's trying to equip items, he needs to know exactly how many times to press the button, press the arrow key, in order to get to the right item in his inventory. So if there were extra items in his inventory, then let's say you always know you press the down arrow 5 key to get to the item you want. Well, now you'd have to press it 6 times to get to the item you want because there's something else in your inventory. So it's very smart of him to always throw away items he no longer needs so that he knows exactly where everything is. He grabs the next key item, this shelter stone, and then is going to warp out of there using the idol. And now we should be on to the Guardian Ape as our next fight. As I mentioned, the Guardian Ape is going to be the most difficult fight, in my opinion. Yeah, he's psyching himself up. Let's go, Hamid. Because it is very loud, but very, almost soft with some of its attacks or movements before they hit you. So it can be really difficult to sort of fight it straight up. The first phase... we do have a loop for, if he can get it just right. If we use the Mortal Draw, we should be able to get him into a loop. But for the final phase, it's just all skill, and he's going to show us how it's done. So it starts with the Mortal Draw in order to get him into the loop. And basically, you just hit him until he's about to, run away. And then you stop hitting him, let him stand up, and then hit him again. And if you just keep doing that, he just gets locked into this loop here where he can't really do anything. You do have to listen for as he's about to stand back up again. You can kind of hear his weight shifting. If you guys listen to it, you can hear his weight shift. Listen. And that's your cue to do the attack again. So he's basically just listening very, very carefully to those game sounds in order to know exactly when to hit so that he can keep that loop going. Okay, so now we're going to get into the final phase. This is the scary one. So he's going to use some pacifying agent in order to make sure that he doesn't get terrified. Ooh, he's even running away to start. This is a new strategy I haven't seen before. But he's basically going to buff up pacifying agent, Yashiriku sugar, rice to get that constant healing over time as I mentioned. And try to use as many mortal draws as he can in order to do big damage. Okay, backing out on some of the attacks. Even using a pellet now. I think that's to bait out the ape doing certain attacks as well. Okay. Oh, that's an attack where he wanted to get behind him, didn't quite get far enough behind, so the ape did hit him. That's okay, though. He's got the second life here. Using the Dragon's Blood Droplet to unlock his revive again. So now he'll have another chance to revive if he dies again. Huge damage on the Mortal Draw, but he is now pretty much out of emblems. So he's got to do it. No emblems here. Using his healing items in order to bait out the attack he wants to see. Has to run away from this scream. And is going to use another pacifying agent to get rid of the terror. More pellets to try to bait stuff out. This is not exactly how you want the fight to go. It is very, very tricky. He's lost a second life again already. It's not over yet, but it is tricky. Ooh, he accidentally used a contact medicine there because he was out of rice. So that's what I mentioned with the menuing. Was not quite right. Uses the Jizo for another life. Oh, stuck in the corner with the scream, another death. This is very, very unfortunate positioning. This is pretty much a worst case scenario here. He still has a chance, but it's going to be very tricky from here. Yeah, does not have enough damage in order to be able to cancel that scream. He knew there was a wall behind him, so he couldn't run away from the scream. So he took a chance that he could stagger him out using the Mortal Draw, but unfortunately it was just not quite enough. Very, very unfortunate thing to see. He probably has enough resources for 1 or maybe 2 more tries, but if he doesn't get it in those couple of tries, we might have to see another reload. In order to get his resources back, he is going to go back to the Divine Child and get more of the rice. It is an infinitely gettable resource. Oh, he's also actually getting another bundled Jizo statue. So there is one here in the outskirts that you can get. It's a little tricky to get blindfolded, but if you just do all the movement right, you should be able to get there. It's in this little like hidden cave at the start here, so he's gonna make his way over and get to that hidden bundled Jizo statue so that he can have another life. All right, beautiful, beautiful movement here. All right, it's basically where we found the Gachin sugar earlier. If you instead go sort of this other spot here and don't drop all the way down to the Gachin sugar instead, you should be able to get this bundled Jizo statue. He's kind of stuck on this little lamp here. I'm not sure if he is aware of that. He is scooting around it, so, you know, sometimes in Blindfolded, sometimes you know, oh, there's things that can go wrong, and other times something happens that you were not expecting, and you just got to redo the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll try one more time on Guardian Ape. If I fail, I have to restart from the save file.
Okay, so he's going to do one more time on the Guardian Ape. That totally makes sense. All right, so he's going for the bundled Jizo one more time here. Hopefully this time he will not get stuck on that little lamp. I'm sure he was just not quite expecting that. But once he has the bundled Jizo statue and the rice again, he'll basically have all of his resources back, and so he will have a good second try on the Guardian Ape. But once you're done with that, there's no more convenient bundled Jizos to grab. They are limited through the game. You cannot just get infinite of them. So we're really hoping that it'll go well the second time, so he doesn't have to load a save again. Again, not the end of the world if he does have to. Just as a runner, as like a point of pride, you really don't want to have to load a save, but it really is not that big of a deal. In a marathon setting, it's very, very common, especially in Blindfolded, to have to load saves. All right, making his way down. He is stuck on it once again, and I don't think he knows that. Because this is a backup strategy, it's probably not been quite as practiced as a lot of his other strategies. Yeah, he's not quite sure where he is. Right, because normally you would kill the ape on the first try, and you wouldn't need a second bundled Jizo. Now, the bundled Jizo is technically only safety anyway. You can very easily kill the ape without it, and it looks like that's what he's going to decide to do. He's going to say, hey, it would have been easier if I got this, but if I don't get it,
I'll try one more time, Guardian Ape. And if I fail, I don't have enough items to beat him.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Hamid telling us he's going to give it that one more go. It's going to be tough, but I think he can do it.
This run is extremely difficult, with the least possible items and upgrades.
Yeah, this is being a speed run. He has not done any extra like pickups or anything like that. So he has very, very low health, very, very low attack power, and so you can see just how difficult this can get. All right, back into the loop on Guardian Ape. Again, he's listening for that shifting of the Guardian Ape's weight to let him know that he can start attacking again. Keep him in the loop here. All right, a few more attacks should do it, maybe one or two times through the loop. We'll be into the really scary final phase here. Okay, so he buffs up He sort of counts out the time in his head, knows when he's going to stand up, buffs up with Pacifying Agent and the Yashariku Sugar to do big damage. He's trying to get as much damage as he can early. Gets a good deflect there. Ooh, but misses the next one. It's really, really hard to hear the timing on those. Okay, so now he's going to heal, which will bait the Guardian Ape into the attack that he wants. Very nice. Interrupts the Scream. That's huge. Gets a nice deflect if he can get this big deflect. Oh, he was just a little bit off on the timing. Uh-oh. Doesn't get the attacks he wants. Oh my god. He's so low on health, but he still has a chance here. If he can get these deflects well. Okay, he's just gonna heal. That's a very, very smart play. It's a nice deflect. Oh, this is the big combo you don't want to see.
I don't have items to kill Guardian Ape. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely no shame in
so
that.
Difficult.
It is very difficult.
Especially with this strat.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Guardian Ape, probably the single hardest fight in this particular run.
Hopefully we can kill him this time.
Yes. It worked for Genichiro. You know, we loaded the save and he got him right away. So I believe he can do that here with Guardian Ape as well. Okay, once again, going to set up into the loop in the first phase. Starts with a Mortal Draw. He now knows he has plenty of resources for it, so... There we are, and just hitting him. Exactly counting the number of times, and then only hitting him again as he's standing back up. Just a beautiful, beautiful loop from Hamid. Okay, we're back to it again. So the goal here, basically, is as you use the buffs, the Pacifying Agent will hopefully make it so that you don't die to the terror of the Scream. The Yashariku Sugar will massively increase your damage so that hopefully you can finish the Guardian Ape off very quickly so that you don't have to, like, go through a lot of his really, really scary attacks. And then the Rice will heal you up through the sort of slow ticking damage that the Scream will do. And you're going to use a lot of Mortal Draws in order to do a ton of damage and a bunch of staggers as well. So he's used all of his emblems now. Now he has to basically just fight the ape normally. Unfortunately, doesn't quite get the deflect. If you miss the deflect, you'll get your posture broken almost every time because we are very, very low on any of the upgrades to our posture. Getting some good attacks in, but also taking some damage. He did jump. The backwards jump, unfortunately, doesn't get the invulnerability quite as early as like a standing jump, and so didn't quite let him live there. Uses the bundled Jizo to get his revive back. Still doing some great damage. Interrupts another Scream. He's close on here, but he's going to need to get a few deflects, which are very hard to do. Alright, he's almost there. The Scream is tough. No, he's trapped in a corner again. That's unfortunate. Takes another death. But here's our last revive. Last chance on this particular try. He's almost got him. So close. Scary sweep. Manages to dodge it, heal up a little bit more with the pellet. Do or die. Unfortunately, the camera has lost the lock-on because he's so close to the wall.
Finally.
Does he have it anyway? Yes, he's got it even without the lock-on. Let's go, Hamid. Let's go. Oh, that was stressful. Whew. But we got him. Let's go. All right. Huge, huge, huge kill. And now in order to pick up the item after, he is just idling out. Excellent, excellent, excellent job, Hamid. And as he is getting the item after this kill, we can probably get maybe our final set of updates before we're gonna head into the final boss area. So if we have any updates on donations or incentives, now would be the time.
I can indeed. We have a 10 euro donation from Caro in a box saying, thought I'd chip in ahead of running in the NSG block tonight. This goes to the cluster truck incentive. We need that pink truck, chat. That just cemented the lead for that kind of truck color for cluster truck. And talking of NSG, Caro is indeed going to run Metal Gear Solid 2 during the NSG overnight block. Not only that, we've also got a fabulous incentive later on in that block for Fire Emblem Engage, where we're deciding not only the character's gender, which as of right now is set to be a female avatar, but also the name of the character, which as of right now, the leading name is going to be Blame Floha. But you can always change it or cement the lead or even add a new option for both that and Cluster Truck. So, ! Donate in the chat. Remember to attach the incentive into the donation. And let's see if we can end up hitting 800 euros anytime soon. We're going to keep on rolling with this.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Hamid now making his way towards the final boss. Another swimming section. Again, infamously difficult and blindfolded is the swimming section. Especially this little fish can just get in your way. So Hamid just kills the fish so that, hey, you know, he doesn't have to worry about it. But it did get in his way enough that he actually has not gotten to the spot that he wants. Luckily, that fish is a treasure fish. It gives you a special item. So if you kill it once, it cannot revive. So if Hamid just goes back and does this movement a second time, the fish will not be there.
Every time.
This freaking fish. Yep.
This is my camera angle.
Yep. Messes the camera angle. Or in that case, it both messed up his camera angle and sort of body blocked him so he couldn't move through it. But this time it'll be fine because the fish is dead. So he doesn't have to worry about that. But yeah, all right, making his way in. Oops, gets a little stuck on the door this time. He'll have to go back one more time, I believe. So many enemies around is going to make it really hard to go back. He's basically going to have to kill this enemy and then... and a few more. It might even be faster just to die at this point. Just let them kill him, but he is... He's fighting his way through just so that he can pour it out at the end.
Please.
Oh, very unlucky. But that's okay. He can just intentionally die here and he should be fine. However, he is instead choosing to let the enemy go back and then poured out. I'm not sure. I don't think he needs to save the money or anything. So, but just either way, getting back to the idol so he can go one more time. All right, this time he got the right angle. Not sure what happened the previous time. I didn't see anything wrong with his movement, but his camera ended up being not quite right. But this time, it's exactly what he wants. Ooh, the guy almost got in his way. Almost blocked him, but he managed to make it through. Beautiful. Gets back into the swimming section. This time with no fish, so he should be able to make it through. Goes all the way to the bottom because there is some stuff that can get in your way a little bit higher up into the water. All right, now he surfaces, just goes forward till he can get the grapple. Great, and now he knows exactly where he is. That water section can be super tricky, but he's got it. Oh. Gets hit by something there, which is going to affect his positioning a little bit. But now that he has the grapple, he should be fine. He just has to make his way up from here. All right. Bunch of grapples. I believe he is going to make his way a bit around and grab the idol in the dojo for safety. You technically could do it without. And actually, no, he is not even going to grab that safety. He just says, I've got this. I will do it. First try. Let's see if he can. This is the final fight here. Very, very tough. He's setting up all of his items that he needs.
Good RNG, please.
Yes, please, good RNG. He's going to have some sugars for extra damage. He's going to have mortal draws for a bunch of extra damage. But he's basically just going to straight up fight the bosses. He's going to straight up fight Emma and Ishin. Starting with Emma. You can try to get into a bit of a loop of attacking once and deflecting. Ooh, unfortunate start. He did not get what he wanted. Okay, starts with a mortal draw.
I knew it. Worst RNG possible for Emma. Worst RNG possible for Emma. Yeah, every time.
Definitely not what you want to see. That was, for sure, those were the few attacks that could sort of deal with his strategy of mortal drawing. Was that those quick attacks that kind of hit him out of the air. So definitely not what you want to see. But hopefully this next time it'll go a little better. He does have plenty of emblems left. He does have a good number of the sugars left. I think he used up one of his Yashiriku sugars, so he won't quite have as many of those, but he's still got Akko to make up for them if needed. And so he'll make his way back down one more time here. Water section. Luckily, this water section is like these sort of tight passages, which means that you're going to be a little bit more sort of funneled into the correct direction. So you don't lose your bearing as much in this water as you would in a more open water, which is nice. And once you get to those grapples, you know exactly where you are. All right, making his way up one more time. He actually doesn't really care about losing any health along the way here because when he gets into the fight, he uses that Yash sugar, which halves his maximum health anyway. So as long as he doesn't go under half here, he'll be at the same health he's used to once he starts the actual fight. All right, this time there's no cutscene. So he's going to have to walk up to Owl sort of normally. There it is, and he's got his Yashiriku sugar ready. All right, backs off a bit, uses the Yash. Mortal draw. This time he gets it. Very nice. All right, Emma down. He used all of his emblems for Emma. Emma is kind of the scarier one. So now for Ishin, he can still use Mortal Draw. It won't do as much damage, though. So he's ready to buff up and get into this Ishin fight. Okay, gets to back to full health by using an Akko sugar and a healing gourd instead of the Yash sugar. And he is just straight up fighting him. Oh, this is so impressive. He's listening to the deflect sounds to know what Ishin's doing. Yes, the back and forth. Oh, unfortunately, a little tiny bit early on that deflect, so he does get knocked down. But he's back into it with the firecrackers here. Very nice, very nice. Just a few more hits, and he'll be into the final phase.
Come on, man!
Oh.
Shit.
Yeah. Very, very unfortunate there. Did not quite get it. Hopefully third time will be the charm. As you can obviously see, in the Blindfolded run, these bosses are just so tricky. Now, he is going to grab this heavy coin purse and use it to buy more emblems.
Enough emblems.
Yeah, just to make sure, just to double check that he has enough emblems, he's grabbing this heavy coin purse just to buy some more. Very, very smart decision here to do. Because if you don't have enough emblems, you don't get the extra damage on Mortal Draw, and so you will not have enough to take out Emma as we're looking for. Okay, making his way back up. Hopefully for the final time, as he will hopefully be able to get it here. So he will be very, very low on those sugars in order to increase his damage. He should have one more Yashariku sugar left in order to make sure that Emma goes smoothly. And then after that, I think he only has one or maybe two Akko sugars for Ishin. So that should be enough. Ishin doesn't require those sugars as much as Emma does, but it's not going to be what he's used to. The fight is going to take longer, which gives a lot more chance for Ishin to do something really, really difficult or really, really unpredictable. So hopefully he can get it here. If not, I expect he might load a save one last time just to make sure that he can get through. Alright, making his way up on these grapples. Luckily, this pathing up here to Ishin is pretty nice and consistent. Usually you only need to do it once as well, so it's like not bad at all, but making his way up on the grapples. And good luck, Hamid. Hopefully this time we can end it here. Okay. Gets the opener he wants from Emma. Gets some more big hits in. He's almost got her. Okay, Emma down. He's on to Ishin. Final fight. Hopefully this time it will go better. So he's got that one Akko's sugar left to use. And hopefully it will last him through the fight. So he's just attacking, deflecting. Beautiful deflect on the thrust attack. That's a tough one, but he's got the timing. All right, now he's basically just getting into the loop. Nice, even gets the sweep there. Okay, almost into his final phase. Oh, misses the deflect though, not quite what you want. All right, using the firecrackers to get back into it. Nice. Gets the deflect death blow into the final phase. Heals in order to bait out the attack that he wants. Or actually, he doesn't even need to do it. Just gets the attack. All right. Now he's going to be trying to use as many mortal draws as he can. Every time that Ishin backs off, you basically prevent him using a mortal draw. Nice. He's a little bit further away than he'd like to be right here. Oh no, not the grab. Grab is super unfortunate, but he's got one final life here. One last try at this. Okay, nice. Gets back into it with a mortal draw. Just a few more. We're almost there. Nice deflect. Excellent, excellent. Just a bit more. Gets around behind him. Mortal draw, let's go!
Oh my god.
Let's go, Hamid.
It's finished.
All right, we can call that as time.
I can't believe. Oh my god.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Nice job, Hamid. Nice job.
Thank you, thank you. As I said, it's extremely hard run, and if we die in these sections, we're just gonna restart the whole run. There are way better strats and techniques that we can use in another record, which is 127, and the one Mitris did to beat Sekiro Blindfolded. And we have way more upgrades, and this is an extremely hard run. And I've tried so hard to get a good RNG for each boss. Almost took me maybe 100 attempts to get the world record.
Yeah, you've put in so much work, and it really shows. That was an awesome run. Congrats! Marathon runs are really, really difficult. So awesome job keeping your composure as some of the stuff went wrong. And yeah, awesome run.
Thank you so much. And I tried my best to not to restart from a save file, but I had to,
Yeah,
I couldn't even
definitely
find
understandable.
the I couldn't even find the Jesus statue. You saw that, right?
yeah. There was a little lantern that you were getting stuck on. It just like wouldn't let you
All
go. It was
right.
very funny. Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just had the same strat for finding that, but
Mhm.
unfortunately, I couldn't find it. So,
Yep.
as you know, having a Yash sugar for a Guardian Ape is extremely risky in this run, but we can feel his posture meter way much harder, way much better.
Hmm.
Especially fighting with Genichiro is hard as well. But uh, I'm glad I could finally beat that. It's
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
not it's not satisfying. I know it's not satisfying, but I did my best.
You did great. You did great. And I think
Thank
we
you.
are probably a little over the time estimate that we had, so we should probably try to wrap up pretty quickly here. But yeah, did you have
Yeah.
any last shout outs you wanted to give to anyone as we wrap up?
Yeah, thanks for having me. Thanks for letting me perform this blindfolded secure run as I picked the hardest category and, of course, the hardest blindfolded run I've ever had, comparing to my Elden Ring and Dark Souls remastered speed runs. And I'm happy that I could finish it. Yeah, thanks to Ishin as well. Thanks for having me. It was a great honor and pleasure for me to meet you guys, and special talk to you, Mr. Mitris, the greatest teacher and mentor that I've ever had. I owe you everything about my blindfolded journey. You helped me so much with my achievements. I owe all these achievements to you. I just wanted to have a very good uh, thanks and big thanks to you that I've spent um, I've spent every minute in your stream, and that was very helpful for me to learn every trick about game and becoming a hardcore gamer.
And yeah, thank you for carrying on the torch and bringing the record lower. It's been awesome to see.
Yeah,
But yeah, I think with that we can wrap it up here.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and thanks for the SpeedCon marathon and Marathon Alliance. Thanks for accepting my run and letting me showing off this blindfolded second run. Hope you enjoyed, everyone.
Alrighty, yeah. Bye bye all. Bye bye.
Oh, thank you very much, both of you. I mean, Hamid especially for that amazing blindfolded run of Sekiro there. That was a whole lot of hype and a very amazing roller coaster of a run. Super enjoyable stuff. Ah! Alright then. Well, I don't really think there's really anything much to add here, but we're gonna end up making the continued raid soon enough towards some of Besties when they're ready. We're going to go to a very quick intermission screen, but for now, we will end up bringing you over to them when the time is ready for it. So, yes, keep it locked right here. This is Marathon Alliance. We're at the end of SpeedCon block number 2.
Yeah. I'm disconnected.